the core of the music ministry here at Spiritual Life Center. We're so glad that you've chosen to be with us today. And we want you to know your soul is welcome here.
That's right, you're in the right place at the right time, just where you are meant to be. Let's all sing about it. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh my soul is welcome. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning, and welcome to the Spiritual Life Center experience that we bring to you wherever you might be on the planet today. We're grateful for your presence as we remind one another we are all interconnected. We are one in the Spirit, and we have people across the planet who view our services. So today I'd like to acknowledge those folks that are in the country of Jordan. We thank you for connecting with us and know that you are blessed and a magnificent blessing to everyone on our planet. At this time, let us take a few moments to commune with the presence of pure spirit. And we do that through prayer, which is the language of spirit that is not limited by time or space in any way, shape, or form. So we affirm our realization of our oneness now. Let us turn within. Divine Presence, we are grateful to be the expressions of all that you are. That every quality that you contain, the love, the peace, the joy, the wisdom, the harmony, the divine and perfect action, health and wholeness, is our qualities as well. So we come under its government and guidance and make these qualities the activity of our awareness through every thought we have, every word we speak, every action that we take, so that we anchor on earth these qualities and we can see ourselves as the highest and best that we can. We go forth now radiating these qualities, this truth, as we amplify the all good in our life and in our world. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. We're grateful then to be living in this magnificent, friendly universe. And we're grateful for you. And we're grateful to be together to share this oneness that we are. And I'd like to always let you know what our mission is here at Spiritual Life Center. And our mission is as follows. We transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we do so as we live out these 5 basic universal unity principles. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. And we must take action.
If you are having a birthday, this song goes out to you. We want to wish you a very special SLC happy birthday. So everybody, join in and sing along. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Deborah Phillips, and here's what's happening next at SLC. On Wednesday, December 9th, Frank Castro Weir offered a reflection on light and loss. It was a ceremony via Zoom to allow you to greet your losses and then release them by opening to light. Then, for the Discovering Spirit Within podcast, Frank and I sat down to have a deeper conversation about why this is such a powerful process. We discuss how to move from sitting in the dark and complaining to embracing the dark and evolving our way back through to the light. You can find the ceremony on our website, and the podcast is available on our own Discovering Spirit Within channel.
Good morning, SLC family. As individuals in a community, we support the transformation of our lives with our 3-pronged approach to love, serve, and remember. I, therefore, have the privilege of introducing our community partner for December, the Orangevale Food Program. We are supporting this partner as a community service with our SLC cash donation. And it was our intention to give you an opportunity to bring staple food items when we attended services in December. Of course, that's not happening, but we do have a container in the courtyard. So if you happen to be near the church building during the week when staff are here, I encourage you to drop off your world peas, as I believe once you hear about their program, you will want to participate in supporting them.
Greetings, SLC. This is Paula, here to tell you about a wonderful Christmas gift that has been offered to us by our friend Faith Rivera. Faith is an Emmy Award-winning positive pop music artist from Hawaii who loves to open hearts and transform lives through healing songs, affirmation dance songs, and feel-good chants. She would like to show her gratitude for all the opportunities she's had this year to connect remotely with spiritual communities like ours and share her music. On Saturday, December 19th at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, she will live stream a free concert on Facebook called The Magic of the Season. To add even more magic to the evening, she has invited a special guest to share sacred hula dance. Just go to Faith Rivera Music on Facebook.com to sign on, or check the SLC website for the link. It is sure to be a wonderful time of connection and good cheer.
We have quite a few things on tap for this Christmas season. On December 24th at 5 p.m., our candlelight service will premiere on YouTube and Facebook. This beloved and traditional SLC candlelight service brings the elements of the Nativity story to life and demonstrates its significance and relevance to our own lives now. New and pre-recorded segments feature the SLC choir and community members, and there is a virtual candlelighting for the world. On Christmas Day, you can join me on Zoom at 10 a.m. for Christmas brunch. You brush off your jammies, grab coffee and toast, or make a whole breakfast to eat while we share Christmas stories, maybe play a game or two. It's still in the works, but I do know we will close with a deep Christmas meditation. And then on Sunday, December 27th, on YouTube and Facebook, our version of the year-end blessing of the world religions with Reverend Janae Marth will premiere. She will be joined by the youth ministries of SLC and Unity of Vacaville. Music will be by Cameron Lawson and Larisha Flitt. And we top off the year with the New Year's Eve Burning Bowl virtual and courtyard service. Tune in to our YouTube or Facebook channels at 7 p.m. for this special service hosted by the prayer chaplains as we reflect on 2020 and look forward to the coming year with Spirit's light shining hope and possibility into our lives. We will be talking more and more about this event as we get nearer, and you can find all the details for these events on our website. And now we welcome Sally Sion with a Board of Trustees update.
In March of this year, the board had no idea if we were going to be able to survive the closing of our in-person services. That was where the majority of our income was coming from. And we had to incur extra expenses for sanitizing, purchasing and installing plastic barriers, buying masks, and those kinds of things. But here we are at the end of the year, and we have been able to support our community, even though we haven't been able to do so in person. And we have our minds renewed, and we support each other in bringing love and compassion into the world, which is so in need of our love. We've found a way to continue our study groups. We have continued our wonderful music. We have enhanced our video productions. And we had our annual Faith in Action program this year. We have been able to network through our after-service courtyard. And we even launched the Mighty Networks website so that we have our own private Facebook. We will continue all of these programs and are even planning some additional events. And we continue to look for any way that we can to connect and support one another. I can't appear here without mentioning also a plug for the community giving program. This year we continued with our community partners and gave a donation to every one of those every month of the year. And with your help and nominations from the congregants, we have investigated and decided on a slate of 12 partners for 2021. That list of community partners for next year is going to be posted this week on our website. I hope you check it out. The first 2 community partners this winter will be for homeless and those without shelter in our community. Of course, all of our programs take your financial support. So we are asking, if you can, that you make a year-end gift to SLC. We would like to end our year without debt and with the ability that we have confidence to meet our debts in the coming season. And I know that with your love, that SLC will continue to be able to enable us to thrive. I wish you happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally, for keeping us up to date. You know, we love to greet our newcomers. And while we cannot greet you in person, we want you to know that we are very happy you are with us as you walk your unique path. You can learn more about us by going to slcworld.org/connect. And when you fill out the online card, you can choose to receive our weekly message and opportunities for connecting with our prayer chaplains and online small groups. You can also ask to be notified of greater ways to connect with us virtually as we expand our online community. And speaking of connecting, you can find all the details for the happenings at SLC by simply going to our website, slcworld.org. Thank you for joining us today. We are honored to be with you in spirit.
I want you to sing this with me. I will meet you with my heart, heart to heart. Let us meet again, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are. I will touch you. I will touch you with my soul, soul to soul, soul to soul. Let us touch again, and then may we behold more of who we are, more of who we are, more of who we are. I will meet you silently. Breath to breath, let us breathe as one, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are. All right, let's do it again. I will meet you with my heart to heart, heart to heart. Let us meet again, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are. I will touch you with my soul to soul, soul to soul. Let us touch again, and then may we behold more of who we are, more of who we are. I will meet you silently, breath to breath, breath to breath. Let us breathe as one, and then may we become more of who we are, more of who we are, more of who we are, more of who we
At Spiritual Life Center, we affirm there is power in the spoken word. If it feels comfortable doing so, I invite you to speak aloud our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
In me, live out in the open, shine from my life like the sun. Give of your goodness, conquer the darkness, Spirit of light and love, Spirit. In me, live out in the open, shine from my life like the sun. Give of your goodness, conquer the darkness, Spirit of light and love, Spirit. In me, give through me, speak through me, move through me, love through me, oh Spirit. In me, oh Spirit, in me.
Spirit in me, speaking, moving, and loving our world through me. We are one with this divine presence. As we settle into meditation, we honor the season of Hanukkah, breathing deeply. We relax and soften, feeling the presence of divine spirit within us. Peace washes over us. Breathing again, we open to the magnificence of all that is and trust that all is well. In this time of communion, we are one with the essence of love, embracing the beauty of our own light within. This is Spirit, shining its presence into our lives. Take a moment to breathe into this presence, connecting with your own magnificence. As with the ebb and flow of life, our connection with Source will change over time. We may be in a place of discernment, questioning what it all means. Or we may feel an intense connection with this presence. Wherever we are on our path, God lights our way. Those moments when we feel lost or confused, Spirit is there, reminding us that even in the darkness, there is a beacon of hope. When we don't know what is true, we receive guidance. When we feel fearful or misunderstood, this light offers strength, wisdom, and courage, a spark of hope, pulling us forward. God's presence is eternal. Just as one candle can light 1,000,000, our light spreads around the world, reminding us there is no place that God is not. Trust in your light, as in the Jewish temple, their flame kept burning against all odds, holding the faith through life's trials. Take some time in the silence to explore your light and feel the spark of Spirit within. We are all children of the universe. And as we move through this season, we carry the light of hope, knowing we can climb any heights and soar on Spirit's wings, shining in all our glory as the light of inspiration. And so it is. Shalom.
How many mountains must you face before you learn to climb? I'm gonna give you what it takes, my universal child. I'm gonna try to find a way to keep you safe from harm. I'm gonna build a special place, a shelter from the storm. And I can see the shadows of the things that you've had to endure. I see the tracks of every tear that ran right down your face. Oh, I see the hurt, I see the pain, I see the human grace, and I can feel you. You're everywhere, shining like the sun. I wish to God that kids like you could be like everyone. How many tumbles must it take before you learn to fly? I'm gonna help you spread your wings, my universal child. I'm gonna help you find a way to keep you safe from harm. We're gonna build a special place, a shelter from the storm. I can feel you, you're everywhere, shining like the sun. I wish to God that kids like you could be like everyone. And I wish to God that kids like you could be like everyone.
Universal Child is an apt song to describe all of us. And the lyrics remind us that the force, the presence, God, the source of all things, will give us what it takes, whatever it takes. It will help us spread our wings. We can go so far as to say that we already have what it takes. We indeed already have those wings. But there's something that we must do. We must claim it. We must accept it. And when we claim and accept it, when we remember our identity. You know, the Christmas season serves as a reminder of what that identity is. As we honor Christmas, the thoughts and words about Jesus will arise. Well, they ought to arise anyway, because that is the reason for this memorable holiday in the first place. You know, of course, it's easy to lose the purpose for Christmas, because I think over the years, the focus seems to be more and more on consumerism and getting caught up in the frenzy of it all. And this year, there's a lot of energy around the pandemic directing our attention to that, as well as all the ramifications of this pandemic, health-wise, politically-wise, sociologically, even law and constitution. Yet as we step back for a moment, it's appropriate to ask, who was this person, Jesus, that we center our attention on and what Christmas is about in the first place? What does he represent? Who does he claim himself to be? How did he identify himself? Well, Jesus posed these very questions, or this very question about himself, to his disciples. It takes place in a story found in the Gospel of Matthew. And it happened just after the disciples had witnessed what appeared to be a remarkable and seemingly miraculous experience in which Jesus is to have fed over 5,000 folks from only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. You know, that story in and of itself has a lot of metaphysical lessons in it, but that's for another time. But anyway, in this instance, Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do people say I am?" Or to put it in modern day vernacular, he was asking, what's the word on the street about me when my name comes up? And the disciples suggested he was a reincarnation of different prophets. One said he was a reincarnation of John the Baptist. Another said he was a reincarnation of Elijah. Still another said he was Jeremiah or one of the other prophets that have been known to come before them. And then finally Jesus turned to his disciples and asked them, look here, brothers, who do you all say I am? And Simon Peter spoke up. And he said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus responded by saying, in essence, to Peter, "You got it. And understand that flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. It was not your intellect. It was not your know-how. But rather you got revealed this through spirit. And it's on this spiritual consciousness," that he said, "that we will build this movement." The essence of the message is that Jesus' true identity was that of the Christ. His true identity was that of the God presence. But here's the deal, and I've been saying this through this series because it bears repeating. The celebration of Christmas does not merely deal with God's presence through a person sometime way in the past. Instead, we are dealing with a divine identity that is within all of us. It's a spiritual entity with no bounds, no borders, and is readily available to flow through and as our life. Understand, when we make this the basis of our identity, how we see ourselves, we end up accessing the power, the presence, and the love of God itself. And know from that space, just like the feeding of the 5,000 from the 5 loaves and 2 fish, we will tell our own miraculous stories. I recall a young man. His name was Antonio Smith. And Antonio had overcome abandonment and homelessness. And at the age of 6, he learned how to use his mind actually to climb out of sleeping in a dumpster. He would spend his entire childhood primarily homeless. He was a ward of the state up until he was 14. And then he went into foster homes, and he was there until he was 18 years old when he aged out. And up until that point in his life, he identified himself by his history, by his past experience of being abandoned, of being a homeless orphan. But somewhere along the line, during one Christmas season, he overheard the message that his true identity was a spiritual being. And he indeed was a light that was here to help light the world. And he had a revelation that he did not have to see himself as an abandoned, homeless orphan any longer. And he was going through a spiritual community. And he heard the speaker say his true identity was that indeed of the Christ presence. And this Christ presence was reflected in the words of Jesus, who said that you are the light that lighteth up every man and woman that comes into the world. And he heard that you can become anything you make up your mind to be. And so Antonio took those words to heart. He claimed that as his identity. He claimed himself as that spiritual being. And to make a long story short, eventually he became a 4-time best-selling author. He was successful in business and became a celebrity business advisor and a speaker. But I bring up his story because it demonstrates the power of what's possible when you claim your spiritual identity and the divine energy of the Christ presence as your life. You know, sometimes we have an insight, a revelation like Antonio to help us remember who we really are, to remember our true identity. Other times we're pushed by circumstances, by challenges that we face in the world. Or sometimes we have emergencies that show up in our individual or collective lives. And at times, those emergencies will catapult us, they will push us, they will move us deeper to expressions of our true nature. And it causes something new to be born in us that up until that moment we did not see. You know, there's a statement that says that God loves us too much to leave us alone. It is always urging us and nudging us to become up more. And sometimes it happens when we are in those challenging circumstances. You know, this Christmas we are familiar with many classic musical songs about Christmas. One of those songs is Silent Night. And we may not know that song owes its birth to an emergency that took place. The song originated in Austria, so Austria gave us that song that we sing during this time of the year. And just before Christmas in 1818, mice had eaten the organ bellows of the church at the time. And Christmas without music seemed to be inevitable. But undaunted, the parish priest improvised the lyrics of Silent Night. And he asked the organist to think of a simple tune for them that they could play on a guitar, because that's the only instrument that they have. So out of an emergency, out of a seeming crisis, something new was born. If you're going through something, a crisis of some sort right now, in fact, right now we can say collectively we're all going through our own global crisis with this pandemic. But during this time, we want to have the mindset that says, hold on. Know there is something new seeking to emerge. There is something new seeking to be born in us individually and collectively. A breakthrough lies ahead. The pressure of who and what we really are is always upon us, which is that Christ presence. In order for our true identity to be born in us over and over again, we must be willing to be transformed by the renewing of our minds and our hearts. And as we do that, we begin to release the joy inhibitors. We release the light inhibitors. We release the grace and the peace inhibitors that are hindering the flow from coming through us. There was a time there was a man who was of great means. He had everything materially one could possibly want or need in his life. But there was a void. There was an emptiness, a joylessness in his daily living. And one holiday season during Christmas time, he noticed that there were a bunch of people in his town who were always happy, seemed to be always content, seemed to be always joyous and filled with laughter. And all of these people didn't have much materially, nothing near what he had in his life. And he was confused. He didn't understand how this was possible. But he found out that those people who had so much joy and happiness in their lives had received certain teachings from a local holy man. And all of them had gone to see him at one time or another. And so this man, apparently, who had everything, decided to go see the holy man himself. because he wanted to get whatever those other people had. He wanted to find out what this holy man was sharing with all those people in town. He wanted to get that same joy for himself. So he went to the holy man's home. It was a simple home. And he asked the holy man, "Are you the man that the people in town have been getting their teachings from? And then when they leave you, they are in such great spirits. They seem to be so light in life." And the holy man said, "Well, I am the one that they come to see, and I do share my teachings with them." And the man who had everything said, "Well, I would like you to give me the teachings so I can experience life like they are living." And the holy man looked at him and he said, "Nah, I can't waste my time with you. I can't help you." And this man who had everything was shocked. He was not used to people turning him down. And he said to him, "Well, aren't you the man that says that all things are possible? Plus, I'll give you a whole lot of money." And the holy man said, "Yeah, I'm that person, but nah, I can see by your aura that you're going to be dead in 10 days, so I can't waste my time with you. But I'll make a bargain with you. If you're alive after 10 days, which I don't think you will be, I will give you the teachings." And then the man went home to his office. He was somewhat despondent, and then his assistant came in and knocked on the door, came in and said, "I have this pile of paper that shows that there's a lot of people that owe you money. They owe you some money on the loans, and do you want me to go out and collect the money, put some pressure on them so they can get the money back to you?" And the man said, "Nah, just tell them that, to give it to me when they can. It's no rush." Now, this assistant was shocked. He had been with him most of his life, and he had never seen this man do anything like this. And then the man said to his assistant, "As a matter of fact, get my brother on the phone. We broke up. I haven't talked to him in many, many years, and we left on bad terms, and because I was angry with him, and I never could forgive him. And just get him on the phone." And so he got on the phone, and he talked to his brother, and he apologized to his brother for shutting him out of his life all of this time. And he apologized to him and said, "Let's just get back together. Let's start over again. Let's support each other." And again, the assistant was just out of his mind because he just knew he was going to hate his brother for the rest of his life. And then he goes on to say that the man started going out into the community. He started supporting charitable causes. He was helping people build up their own businesses, and he was helping people in need. He was being nice and supportive in ways that this assistant had never seen him be before. And he saw that the man had a lightness and a joy in his life that he had never had up until that point. And the assistant said he saw all of this, and he knew that something had happened to this man. Anyway, on the 10th day, the man remembered that the holy man said to him that he wasn't going to be alive after 10 days. And he was nervously looking at his watch and looking for the time to strike 12 midnight. And, it came to 12 midnight, and he looked at his watch, and he was still alive. So he tapped his watch and made sure it was working. And he said, "My God, this is deep. This holy man has never been wrong before." And the man was very stressed out, thinking that the grim reaper was about to come get him. And he ended up falling asleep. And when he woke up, he was still in his body. He still had his body temple. He was still intact. So the man ran to the holy man, and he said, "You told me that if I was alive after 10 days, you would give me the teachings. You said you would teach me how to yoke with the Spirit of the living God and have the life that I really want." And the holy man simply said to him, "Well, I already have. I already have." And the man with means realized that the key to joyous living was to understand he was here for a purpose. And what he had to do was constantly check himself to see where he was being run by selfishness, or whether he was being run by something more powerful that was activating the gift within him, that says to him that he is here to give, he's here to shine, he's here to let, he's here to allow, he's here to be and proclaim the power and the presence and the love of God that is within him. And it dawned on him as he remembered that was his identity. That was the identity clause that he needed. In our own life, when we remember our identity, we realize we are here to be great givers, great radiators of the divine spirit. This is how we claim our true identity. And whenever we remember that identity clause, we are the light that lighteth up every man and woman that comes into the world. We know that as that universal child, we are ready, already been given what it is necessary and what it takes. And we're ready to deepen our commitment to that identity by being the modern day prince and princesses who take a stand for the possibilities of the human spirit. We know it's about taking a stand for peace on earth and goodwill for all. And that stand is something that we remember as we invoke our identity and live out the spirit of Christmas, as we live out the spirit of the mass celebration of the Christ, because that's what it's all about. Understand, it's about being in absolute alignment with the great visionaries that have blessed this planet. Those who have prophesied the great and high possibility of who we can be individually and as a collective species. And so we stand in alignment and with the vibration and the frequency and that identity. And we're seeking to download the divine vision of the possibilities of who we are when we are at our highest and best. It means being in alignment as articulated by Jesus the Christ when he said, peace on earth and goodwill toward all. It's about being in alignment as the beloved community as Martin Luther King described it. When we remember our identity clause, we stand in alignment with John in the Bible, who was relegated to the Isle of Patmos, where he captured a vision of a new heaven and a new earth. We stand with the character Isaiah, who spoke about lying with the lion laying down with the lamb, and how ultimately we would study war no more. And every tear shall be wiped away. There shall be peace in the land. When we remember our identity clause, we stand with Mahatma Gandhi, who acknowledged and inspired us to have divine appreciation for each other, regardless of culture, regardless of religion, regardless in today's world of political affiliation, but to ultimately come into a high appreciation of who we are beyond all of that. When we evoke our identity clause, we stand with Mother Teresa, who was so enamored and worked for her beloved Jesus the Christ that she saw the Christ's presence in every face that she fed. We stand with His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, that reveals such a high level of forgiveness, such a high level of loving kindness, and not a derogatory word comes out of his mouth whenever he speaks about the people whose government has colonized his country. When we invoke our identity, we stand with Nelson Mandela, who was in prison for 27 years and walked out and was a power of forgiveness and reconciliation and built a nation upon that consciousness. The idea is that when we remember our identity, we stand and are in sync with that kind of vision. We are in sync with that kind of vibration. We are in sync with that kind of essence. That the beloved community, that the heaven on earth, that the new Jerusalem, that the divine high possibility of the human experience can reveal itself on earth through us. We spread our wings and know we are everywhere, shining like the sun. This is our identity. So, universal child, claim that identity for yourself right here, right now. And it is your gift that you share with the world. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you for being part of our service today, in which we remember our identity as the light that lighteth up every person that comes into the world. Next Sunday, Reverend Deborah and I will offer a special contemplative service in which we will explore the true meaning of Christmas. Right now, this is your opportunity to help Spiritual Life Center continue to provide these spiritual programs, these spiritual experiences for you. Not just what we do on Sundays, but our weekly podcasts, our prayer and meditation classes, as well as other transformational experiences that take place throughout the entire week. So we invite you to support Spiritual Life Center with your donation and to give what you can. It makes a tremendous difference and is very much appreciated. You can give by texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or go to our website, slcworld.org, click the Donate tab to give in other ways, including by mail. And now invite you to join with me, energetically or out loud, as I say our offertory blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
If a star can be a sign that the light is breaking through, and the child in your arms makes the whole world seem brand new, we can embrace all the grace we've been given, stand in the light of the wonder we live in. This is your gift, this brand new day, so take it to heart, take it on faith, open your eyes, don't be afraid to learn how to live. This is your gift, this is a new day, this is your gift. When it's hard to say a prayer, when you're overcome by fear, and you see each day through 1,000 fallen tears, hope takes your hand as it picks up the pieces, love comes to life as we live and believe it. This is
With that, let us go and say together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Spiritual Life Center.